Hi, this is Brent Hess here with the Real Influence Podcast, a platform dedicated to bringing back the true meaning of influencer. In the recent years, it's gotten so watered down and really lost its meaning. The people doing the biggest influences in their communities are usually the furthest thing away from trying to create some online persona. This isn't to throw any shade at those selling chapsticks, lotions, and potions to their social media accounts online, but more so to give the younger generations and my kids a small insight into true influence, its impact, and its attainability. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Boom! All right, guys, let's dive right in. I'm here with Coach Freddy from Big Things Boxing. Excited to have you on. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here and for us to chat.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
You got three awesome athletes competing at the Champions League boxing event here, July 13th, in Washington D.C. But yeah, let's get into that a little bit later. Tell us a little bit about how you got started into this journey as a influential coach in the community. I mean, I know this is my community too, and I live in this community, and I know some of the things that you do. I respect it a lot, and tell us what kind of sparked the flame for Big Things Boxing.
So so Big Things Boxing is a free after school boxing program in Falls Church area. So we're there to sort of have to help kids in the community there uh, find a space they can go to, somewhere they can train and learn something new, keep them out of trouble.
Yep.
And in that sort of teach them, empower them through sport, through training, through boxing, and mentor them. So uh, we're there for any student that wants to come through, that lives nearby, that wants to learn something. Um, and now we sort of gear it towards competing,
Yeah.
because we're trying to give these students sort of help them work towards something. Learn the basics, learn how to defend themselves, learn how to train, and then as time goes on, our goal is to have as many of them compete as possible.
Keeps them doing the right thing, keeps them active, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you've noticed that the good influence that it's actually had on them, huh?
yeah. We see that in all of them, whether they're there for like a few months or hopefully there for long term. Um, we hopefully the time they spend with us, they'll walk away with something. At the very least, teach them a little bit of basics, help show them, teach them about the lifestyle of being fit and active, and um, training. And then for the ones that are there longer, just give them these goals of maybe competing one day. Yep.
Absolutely. Now this interview is about influence, and influence has been on my mind for quite some time now. It's kind of a word that's gotten a little lost in the abyss. Tell us who have been the biggest influences in your life, and tell us how they've truly kind of impacted you.
So I would say some of the biggest influences for me were people like teachers and mentors and coaches. Someone who, when I had a late start in boxing. I started after high school because there was no gym or anywhere for me to train nearby. This was before it was easy to pull up, social media, find coaches, find gyms. Um, Back when I started, there just wasn't the scene wasn't what it is now. Especially in where I grew up, there was nothing close by, so um, it was hard for me to find uh, you know good coaches, good place to train. So when I did find that, um, I just sort of followed their lead. I trusted them, and th- they were a big influence for me. You know, coming up as a boxer, but sometimes that influence doesn't even come from, even though my world is boxing. Um, Influence can come from anywhere. When I was in school, getting in college, getting a degree. Some of the teachers I had there were big influences on me because hard work, that can be anywhere. You can work hard and in school, you can work hard in the gym, you can
Yeah.
work hard at work, so having people there to guide you, that you can trust, they can hold your hand and teach you, the ropes, of everything, whether it's in the ring, out the ring, that's the kind of influence that helped me. And that's what, I'm trying to be to the students that come out to us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
priceless. Um, Now, on the other side of the coin, um, you're influencing people now, and so tell us about some of the people, the groups that you're influencing, some of the fulfillment that you get from that, and maybe even some of the athletes that are competing on the Champions League event.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I stopped sort of training to compete myself, I was sort of left like, well, what do I do now? Like I may not compete again, and but I still want to be in boxing, right? I like training, and then sort of the natural thing was to sort of pass on what I've learned to the next sort of group of kids, group of students. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
um, and I felt like I always had kind of a natural way of like kind of teaching, because and I think that sort of comes from uh, I teach the way I would have wanted to be taught. I'm very sort of like, I'm not the best learner. Sometimes it helps me to slow things down, break it down, and talk slow. So that's the way I learn. So that's how I sort of teach the students to come out to train with us. But uh, I like I said, I had kind of a late start. So when I was like a teen, somewhere around middle school, early high school, I didn't really have any community center, anywhere to go to sort of be part of a community and learn something new. I always wanted to do boxing. I grew up watching it at home with my dad, so I knew I wanted to do that one day, but just that opportunity wasn't there all those years. So um,
Top three.
now I've returned to
Who are your favorite boxers? Give us some of your
top three
favorite
boxing.
ones. Yeah, top three.
Some of my favorites. I mean, I grew up watching a lot of Marco Antonio Barrera. He's one of
Yeah,
my favorite. Um, let's say more recently, he just fought Gervonta Davis. It's fun
yeah,
to watch.
yeah,
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 and another top that I always really liked was Ricky Hatton.
yeah.
Just like a good guy in and out the ring, talented fighter, but like just never took himself serious. Was just he made it just seem like he was just having fun
A
in
lot of
there.
hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like watching him play.
That's awesome. Now, to finish up here, give us give us a little gem, a little quote, maybe a motto, something empowering that you share with your athletes, um, and or anybody who just wants to listen.
Yeah, one thing I always that comes up a lot when I bring up to our students when they're training and they're having a tough day is that I'll tell them that tough days don't last, but tough people do. Then
Mm,
that's sometimes it's we push students or anyone's pushed to the point where they just want to quit. Um, and that it's a natural feeling to just feel kind of defeated. But I always remind them, hey, just go home, rest, go to sleep. When you wake up and you'll feel like, okay, I'm still here. I'm alive, and everything's good. Let's go back at it. So
it's a new
um,
day. Yeah,
yeah. So
that's
just
great.
telling them that. Yeah.
Well, tell people how they can follow Big Things Boxing, how they can follow your journey, and some of the awesome athletes that you have. Just give them a way that they can support you or follow you.
Yeah, so if you on Instagram, you can go to Big Things Boxing. You can check out our website, bigthingsboxing.org. Um, we're a nonprofit. I volunteer. We have other coaches who volunteer, and we're working really hard to give back to our community. So if anyone wants to donate or just stop by, say hi, or reach out to us, even just follow us, we would just be appreciative of any kind of,
And you have a website, right? What is the website?
yeah, bigthingsboxing.org or
Got it.
.com. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, once again, everyone, you can experience for yourself all these awesome boxers and coaches. July 13th at Hook Hall for Champions League Boxing. We're excited to be out there. If you guys want tickets, I would pick them up soon. ChampionsLeagueBoxing.com. And Coach, thank you so much. Much love and respect. And yeah, thank you for coming on today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.